Welcome back. You're still tuned into Power Breakfast, and let's bring Abhishek on now, who, by the way, has had a very busy working weekend this time around. Abhishek, we had both results of ICICI Bank and Kotak Bank which came through. Take us through ICICI Bank first. Solid set?
Well, it's a good set of numbers coming in from ICICI Bank and records galore over there. In terms of all-time high, the quarterly RoA and quarterly RoE are at all-time high. Quarterly part of ICICI Pru, ICICI Sec and ICICI Home is at all-time high. Asset quality, both the gross NPA and net NPA ratio are one of the best in last 9 years or even more. Deposit growth on a YoY basis close to 19% is the best in last 10 quarters, and loan growth sequentially at 5% is the best in last 6 quarters. Overseas net interest margin at 1.56% is perhaps one of the best in last 7 years or 28 quarters. Unsecured book that continues to rise, one of the highest in last 24 quarters, coming in at 20.75%, and that's aiding the net interest margin. In terms of 11 quarter low, you are seeing the stress decline, so restructured book at 0.32% and annualized slippage ratio of 1.69%. On the flip side, CASA has been declining, and that's for the industry. CASA ratio is at 35 quarter low and CASA per branch is at 9 quarter low. Watchlist has increased a bit, but as a percentage of the book, it remains under control at 0.43%, and they continue to report treasury losses in Q2 like they did in the last year as well. In terms of P&L, it has beaten our poll both in terms of NI and PAT. For Kotak Mahindra Bank, there is a new MD and CEO, Ashok Vaswani, for 3 years from 1st of Jan 2024. What has worked is that the deposit growth of 23.3% YOY is the best that you are seeing in last 20 quarters. Loan growth YOY, it's the best in last 3 quarters, and sequential loan growth is perhaps the best in last 6 quarters. Asset quality, they continue to improve, and subsidiaries quarterly PAT is perhaps the highest ever that you are seeing. What has not worked is that the net interest margin compression was estimated at 15 basis points by brokerages, but it has come in at 35 basis points. Slippages have increased. Annualized slippage ratio is perhaps the highest in last 5 quarters. CASA ratio is the lowest in last 6 years, 23 quarters to be precise, and operating profits have declined sequentially, perhaps the first time that you are seeing in last 5 quarters. In terms of P&L, both the NI and PAT is a beat on our poll. Back to you.
All right, Abhishek, thanks a lot for breaking down all of those numbers for us. Kotak Mahindra Bank has been a bit of an underperformer, so it will be important to see how the stock moves, especially after news came through of the new MD and CEO. It was at the high point on Friday, and it was a top gainer as well on the index. But with that, it is time for a short break. On the other side, we're going to shift focus from equities and talk all about the commodities market. Stay tuned. Manisha will bring us that update.